Okay, it looks like everything is working as it's meant to. This is a video pretty much, or a stream, whatever, pretty much saying the same thing almost everybody else is saying about World of Warcraft and Blizzard. Actually, it's really going to be just about World of Warcraft. I'm sick, so my voice is all messed up, so this is a great start. So where to start with this? What went wrong? It starts, honestly, with Legion. And the problem is that you went from feeling extremely strong in Legion to being so weak. Like, it's bad. When you, and it may have gotten better since they've made class improvements, but the first run through, the experience that all the players got, and the fact that most of those people, well, I don't want to say most because I don't know the actual numbers, but I know a lot of those people have quit who have just unsubbed. I mean, when I look at my, it's bad when you look at your friends list and there's people playing Heroes of the Storm, which is in full-on maintenance mode, rather than World of Warcraft, which should be the flagship game of Blizzard, but it's not. Anyway, it started in Legion. In Legion, everything was centered around your character. You were made to believe that you were the realm's last fighting chance. Like, it was do or die, is what it felt like. It also felt like you were powerful. Like, you were powerful beyond, I think, at least you felt powerful beyond any point I can think in recent gameplay. Even in Wrath of the Lich King, you were still overshadowed by the main characters of Wrath of the Lich King. Mainly being Arthas. Arthas was like the guy, even Cataclysm, Deathwing, Pandaria. Who gives a shit? But then in Legion, the narrative kind of changed. The big bad guy, was in the nightmare heart of the nightmare. No one cares. That was an expansion that should have been an expansion all on its own. The Emerald Dream should have been. But it was Gul'dan and Argus, or Gul'dan and I think it was Argus was his name. That ought to tell you how important he was. Yeah, right there. There you go. Let me check. Almost positive it was Argus. Yeah, Argus the Cake Baker. Okay, so your main bad guy was Argus. In this being the case, you had something to work towards. And all the while that this was happening, you were getting stronger. It was becoming, the expansion became slowly more about you. It was all about you. And then near the pinnacle of the expansion, you went in with Khadgar because he's been so helpful at everything he's ever shown up to, where he's just stood there and said, champions, you can do it. The legendary system in Legion was great and disgusting at the same time. I wish they weren't called legendaries. I wish they'd have called them something different, because legendaries had like a special place in the game before Legion. Like, there were only so many of them, and they were fucking hard to get. A lot of our, I mean, some people, it took some people years to get Thunder Fury. I mean, I have all of them but the Rogue Dagger, and they were all hard to do. Daggers. And the only reason I didn't do the Rogue Daggers is because I hated Cataclysm that bad. I don't even think that it was that I hated Cataclysm. It was that I got too caught up in other parts. There was so much to do in Cataclysm because of the new world and all that good stuff that I spent a lot of time re-exploring the world, redoing a lot of the quests that had been revamped from the old world. I was extremely pissed for a while there because I had just finished the Seeker title. No, not just finished. But I went through the hell pre-Cataclysm of doing the Seeker title. Doing more or less every quest in the entire game. All of them. And then when they made it into little easy to do cut off sections for each zone, that was so... It's just such a slap in the face. I was so pissed. But nonetheless, like I said, I spent most of my time making alts and leveling through the new areas, because that used to be one of the more fun things about this game. Was if you got bored with a certain something, you could always go and level an alt, and leveling an alt was fun. That was until Blizzard decided it would be a great idea if leveling an alt was the most boring fucking thing you could ever commit to. First they tried by calling the armor, then they basically just started tweaking with things they should have just fucking left alone. They should have just left the shit alone. And then back to Legion, they just made you feel so strong in Legion. Everything felt like it was about you in Legion. They didn't even need to add the whole daily grind of the Argus area that was supposed to be a planet. I mean, to me that was just kind of... Three zones was all that was left of a third version of the Outlands, because I mean, that's the only thing it could be. That's, Draenei's home, unless the Draenei went to, well, no, it's called Draenor, so I doubt it. But, and that's a lapse in the storyline. That's a whole nother clusterfuck I don't even want to get started on. But the thing is back to what I was saying. Argus made you feel so powerful. Not Argus, Legion, whatever I said. You were extremely strong. You had your artifact weapon, which when they gave you the artifacts, they did two things. They at least for anybody who's been playing since the beginning and has played the old games like the Warcraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 especially, they unlocked, like they opened the cage on all legendaries. Some they even had to, you know, introduce lore that was written post the original game content. So they released all these legendaries into the game. That was great. But it was also the first mistake. Giving you that kind of power, for most classes, made you feel godlike. Like, it was so strong. Like, once you had your weapon fully unlocked, it made your class. It made your fucking class. Just like in Draenor, leveling through the zones unlocked passives. Those passives completely changed your class. Totally changed it. Like, it was a complete and total change. Totally. Like, for Rogue, you no longer had to apply Slice and Dice for, I think it was Assassination or something, I don't remember, but it changed something significant. It changed something significant and made it passive to where you're, in most cases, your class flowed more smoothly. Smoother, whatever. So they added all these great things in Legion. With the heart of it being your legendary. Then at the end of the legendary, abruptly and with probably one of the worst story arcs I've ever seen, they just took it away. They decided, oh, you pointed it at a sword in Silithus. It's garbage now. Throw it out the fucking window. What? Only to immediately give you a necklace and right off the bat a shitty head, chest, or shoulder piece that this new Azerite was going to be picked from the planet, which you can't tell is the Azerite. I mean, they've kind of taken a stance, but is the Azerite the lifeblood of the planet? Is this Mako energy from Final Fantasy VII? Or is this part of whatever Argus the Cake Baker did when he stabbed his sword into the fucking planet in Silithus? So, you're not really given any clarity on that, but either way, you're digging this shit up like it's going out of style, and, you know, it's going to help the planet if you just keep digging, you know, you keep farming this oil out, putting it in your gas tank necklace and shoulders and whatever, and leveling it up. It feels like nothing. It's literally nothing while you're leveling up. It's a stat stick. It literally is a stat stick that you level up. So, basically, it's a stat stick that you're throwing Obliterum at, if this were the last expansion. And then they do another stat squish, and I don't want to say completely fucked all the classes, because I think a lot of them still would have felt strong if they hadn't been stat squished into the ground. And they said they did. The rumor is that they did this for a future level squish, so it won't be so bad. Which I don't even know how that's gonna work. Like, a level squish? Are you fucking serious? Like, what? There's gonna be no gear you can wear at the low end of the game. The first 50 levels, your stats are gonna be 1. Just one stat on every single thing in the entire fucking game. So it's like beyond me where they're going to go with the level squish. I have no idea. Hopefully they make it there. I mean, there's a lot of speculation and outside rumors that say that this is it. That 8.2 is either going to make or break the game. I've been playing MMO since I was 9 years old, and I'm 36 or 7 now. I've been playing MMOs that long. Text-based MMOs before graphical MMOs. I know better than to say, it's going to be this or this. It's going to be a killer. I've heard for so many years. Tiger Woods Golf is going to be a WoW killer. Leisure Suit Larry is going to be a WoW killer. Terra is going to be a WoW killer. NHL 2K fucking 15 is going to be a WoW killer. You name it, it was going to be the WoW killer. And it never came to pass. Did they lose players to these games? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did a lot of these players end up coming back? Almost every expansion, yes. And why? Because all these other games fall prey to a model that Blizzard is starting to eye. You can tell they're starting to eye it because every time someone else leaves the company, there's another fucking sale from that game's division. Like someone just left Hearthstone, now there's a massive sale on Hearthstone card crap. Heroes of the Storm's gone into maintenance mode. I don't know if there's a sale. I haven't seen a sale there, which I thought was a glimmer of light in the darkness, but after seeing the goodbye, see you later bundle, that thing feels like an insult to me. To me personally, I felt like it was an insult saying, if you don't like where the game's going, see you later. Why don't you buy these mounts and take them with you? See you later, fuckface. So that's what it felt like to me. The see you later bundle was literally, it felt like it was like made as like a prank to tell me, oh, you want to quit? Fucking quit. We'll see you later. So, and I'm sure it wasn't intended to be that, but then they come out with the fucking Pokemon mount. And don't get me wrong, it's a cool looking mount. Totally would have bought it if I thought it was something that I would be continuing to use. But I've unsubbed, and there's no indication that the Pokemon mount is going to go anywhere, so I've got X amount of days left on my playtime, so I'm not going to spend another over 2 months. Well, I don't know how much it is, but I'm not going to spend whatever worth of WoW subscriptions or in-game gold or whatever. Purchasing amount I'm not going to use. Simple as that. Now, coming into this expansion, the stat squish, the killing of our artifact, which thematically, like as far as lore goes in the game, Legion was the pinnacle. Like that was truly the end of the storytelling in the game. Like Argus was the guy that we've been after since the beginning, really. I mean, the orcs fled here to escape. Legion, basically. The demons and shit that were underbosses from Legion, according to Warcraft lore. But so you take this end threat, which is what it was. It was it's to quote Doctor Strange, we're in the end game now. That was Legion. Legion was the end game. Um, so you can't go from the end of your lore, the end of, like, the pinnacle of your storytelling. You can't go to the end of that arc and be like, you're up here on this, like, your character's up here, the story's up here, everything's going great. The only thing that was kind of shit was Argus at the end, and only because the dailies were absolutely yuck, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, they were okay. War mode would have been great for Legion. War mode would have been fucking wondrous for Legion. And honestly, moving into BFA. BFA is a good expansion. It really is. They've introduced a lot of things that, and they continue to, that are fun. Island Expeditions, fun. The War Mode, absolutely great. Mission tables, were great and were pretty good in Legion, but I think they should have died there. Are they okay? Yes, they are okay. Um, they I don't particularly care for them. I thought that they were great in Draenor. In Legion, they were great at first because of what they almost were story driven, because you needed them to unlock this, to unlock that. I don't mind the gating behind it. I don't. And I didn't mind it in this expansion either. Beyond that, they're garbage. Like, they're literally garbage. Beyond story arc, they're stupid. They're pointless. They serve, like, absolutely no ultimate good other than a sink for your resources. And a lazy way to level up your reputations if you don't like doing them 50 million, 100,000, gajillion, billion fucking times every expansion for your alts. Because made up numbers, whatever. The problem with those things that I just said were all good. Island Expeditions, no rewards. Too late. They're in now, supposedly, but it's too late. Like, people have already been introduced to them. They have seen what they want to see from there. So, trying to get them back into them, it's kind of like, I ground these out 5 every week. Some people did a lot more. I've seen some other players do so much more as far as Island Expeditions went, because they were wanting to, because it was this endless source of grinding up the stupid necklace. But it was, still great. Not great in the iteration it was released in, because of the reward system being totally fucked. Warfronts, great at first, but then it became the welfare epic place you went to. You went in at 300 or whatever, where there was no item level cap at the beginning for the one side, and you got your free 340s over and over and over again, like free 340s. And you just did this over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the 340s were cool, I guess, once you got one for every slot. But the problem was, and this is where people will probably disagree with me, the problem was Warforging. Warforging should have ended with Legion. And I'm going to show you why right now. I've done very little on this. This is my newest of new alts. I'm 376. 7th Legionnaire Visage. That I got from Doomhowl. That I got from Doomhowl, I think, as well. But if you go through, this I did not. This I got from doing a Warfront. That 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 I got from doing heroic rating. My point is, and then in my bag, I've turned a lot of them into garbage in the garbage machine over there. That I got from Warfront. $3.95 from a fucking Warfront. $3.95 Warfront. I did not have to step into hardly. I think I've done heroic twice. Once, twice, 3 times a lady on this fucking character. But I didn't need anything but rings. And I think a cloak. But if you do Warfronts enough, you'll just get Warforged everything, and there's no reason to do any other gameplay. Which is good, because if you want to get into Mythic Plus, you have to have a Raider IO or some external jackass fucking ridiculous fucking stupid monitor of how you've done in Mythics, so it can be used against you when you want to join a group. You can form a group, but then you got to worry about, are you forming a group with some fucking troll who's going to go, first boss, quit, ruin your key. Granted, you could be that asshole in one of those groups that want you to have Raider IO. But the thing is, or Mythic IO, whatever, that's one of the major problems with this expansion. They have taken fun aspects from Legion, Mythic Plus, and the thing is, I have Mythic Keystone Master, whatever it is, Clear 15, a Mythic 15, and such on my Demon Hunter from last expansion. I did a lot of Mythic Keystones last expansion. I think I've done one this entire expansion. Because I'm not going to beg to get into one, for starters. And I'm not going to sign up for an external evaluator that tells me whether or not I'm fucking good enough to do fucking content. I don't need it. I don't fucking care for it. Like, and it's because they've turned it into a fucking league thing. You know, they've tried to make it, they've made Mythic Plus an esport. Like they tried to do really kind of with Mythic Rating. You know, they're trying to make esports out of all these aspects of fucking World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft does not need an esport. PvP was already a fucking esport that it was almost impossible to get into unless you got in when the getting was good 15 fucking expansions ago, so you can continuously fucking link your last season achievements. So it's one of those, and the thing is, I love PvP. I absolutely hate arenas. I could do Alterac Valley until the cows come home. There's some other ones that I like, but my heart's fucking World PvP. That is why, and as I said before, that is why the incursions are fantastic. I have seen in these areas war mode, which I said was good. This is why it's good now. It's too little, too fucking late, but it is now good. Because in this area, even on dead as shit servers, because of the server sharding or however it works, sometimes you can walk in and walk out and you don't run into anybody. 9 times out of 10 you walk in and it is a fucking race war. It's a straight up race war. Which is great. That is the only part of this expansion that has taken us back to Warcraft roots. And granted, it's probably some of them that I've been in have been better than I ever seen in any expansion. Like, there's at least 100 fucking people on each side. Like, it is a full-on fucking war. Like, it is just fun as shit. Like, it's an AV out in the open world. It's the most fun I had since Ashran, before they fucked Ashran up. So, I'm all about those. Absolutely love them. Do I do them? No. Why? Too little, too late. Because I've been doing fucking world dailies since the expansion came out. And I have no desire to do world dailies. I just don't. Especially when the rep is 7th Legion. Which, unless you're blind, deaf, and dumb, you have maxed out before you finish the fucking storyline. You can max that out before you hit level 110 or some shit. Like, it's just not worth it to do it. It just isn't. It just isn't. So, my point is that a lot of the good features in this game weren't good features when they first came out. They were good features after Blizzard took time, evaluated why they sucked, and had a chance to apply an element to make them more fun. Which is supposedly what they're going to do in 8.2. I don't know if Blizzard will see this video. If you do, if you forget shamans, I legitimately fear for your campus in San Diego. Because I think the shamans might come there and burn it to the fucking ground. With lava bursts, bolts of fucking lightning. It's going to be bad. If you forget shamans, they're going to fuck you up. I'm talking scorched earth, motherfucker. Like, you have shit on them so hard in this expansion that I don't think I've ever seen any class get shit on this hard in my entire history of playing this game that I can remember. I think there was a point where you guys shit on rogues so bad that they couldn't even get into parties. Shamans can at least get into parties thanks to looking for raid. Back then there wasn't a looking for raid, so rogues couldn't play the game. It may have been a certain spec only. I don't remember. It's been too long ago. But I remember there was one point where no one would have a rogue. There was a specific reason only you would bring a rogue for. One boss, I'm guessing it was. And then no rogues. Like, no rogues. None. So, where we stand now. We go from Legion being the strongest fucking... we are the foundation of our class. like everybody else as part of our class, worships the fucking ground we walk on. You know, in certain dungeons, which was so fucking cool. If you're a druid and you have the druid artifact, bosses, you know, the boss will mention it to you about your artifact, and it's just fucking cool. Like, it's made you feel special. There is nothing in this expansion that makes you feel special. Everything in this expansion makes you feel like, whether you're Horde or Alliance, and especially if you're Horde, that your Magni Bronzebeards, bitch. Like, they have replaced Khadgar with Magni. Why would the fucking Horde listen to anything or care about anything Magni Bronzebeard has to say? They know what they need to know about the Azerite. They want it, and they want it all before the Alliance can get it. That's all that should matter. They should not give a shit about anything else Magni Bronzebeard has to say. I honestly feel like Demi Moore and Magni is my Patrick Swayze. Like, or actually, no, I feel like fucking Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Swayze is Magni Bronzebeard. That's what it feels like. It's that stupid. Like, it's just like the Ghost of Christmas Past is telling me what I have to do, who can freely communicate with me no matter where, when, what I'm at. Doesn't matter. Apparently, either we got like a Bluetooth connection or we have a Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze connection. I don't know. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. When I complete a world quest and kill somebody who's trying to get Azerite for their own gains, trying to hurt Azeroth rather than heal her, or whatever the fucking idiot says. Like, I'm so fucking sick of dealing with Magni. I'm just tired of it. I'm almost hoping he turns out to be a villain who's been having us farm fucking Azerite this whole time, because it does hurt the planet. Because at this point, I wouldn't mind fucking seeing this planet hurt. To be perfectly honest with you, with the way that the game lore has gone, it's already been put that you cannot actually kill the old gods. So there's a bunch of them on this fucking planet. Argus has been after it, stabbing it with swords, corrupting it in any way he can, and the people on it. We should have taken the Vindicar and turned it into Velen's Ark, and we all should have gone to Draenor. The Draenor of Warlords of Draenor. And we should have just fucking stayed there, because this planet is not worth the trouble. We could have stayed there. Bang on. Everything's good. We killed fucking Gul'dan. He moved out. We could have made peace there. We could have had a fucking great time there. This planet is a never-ending shit show. It's got so many fucking problems. It's just a never-ending shit show. It's never going to fucking stop. And granted, that's the point of the game, but you see what I'm saying. This planet is always on the verge of on the brink of end. It's always on the brink of ending. I almost wish that they would, and then there'd be like a Warcraft 2 that had proper graphics for a fucking new game, and maybe, you know, take us into the rest of the world's combat systems with, you know, the live action combat. I can't even imagine the innovation that World of Warcraft, or the Blizzard, well, old Blizzard could have brought to that table, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, we come into this expansion, our legendaries are now garbage, our artifacts are now garbage, our legendaries make us overpowered as shit in PvP. Like, you can kill 120s at level 110. Which was really fun. Total horseshit but really funny nonetheless. So, I immediately noticed some flaws. I'm the baddest fucking thing on the earth until I get to Kultiris or Zuldazar, whatever. And then I start noticing some problems. That being the strongest fucking entity on the planet is now, well, being propped up like you're the strongest fucking thing on the planet, or really any planet at this point, is now getting beat to death by cats and horses. What? Random, no name, in the stables, ads. Horses are coming out, one horse, and beating my class to death. Why didn't we come and get these horses and take them to fight the Legion? Where were these random mobs that just wander around, skeletons, elementals, take your pick. Just a random mob, not an elite, wanders around, kills players over and over again, non-stop. Where the fuck were they during Legion? We could have taken boatloads of these horses, dropped them off in fucking Suramar, and they would have destroyed Gul'dan. And the fucking tower, whatever, the Tomb of Sargeras, they would have destroyed it. They could have taken the Vindicar to Argus, wiped out everything there. And then they could have came back here and they would have been like the horses of fucking Azeroth. Like they're the end all be all of everything. Like, all hail the mighty horse. It was so fucking stupid. Like, why? And I'll tell you why. Because the stat squish was so too much that it just wasn't a stat squish. It was breaking classes. Because when you took away their artifacts, most classes were dependent on them. Some classes, they were like, here's what we'll do. We'll take the minorly decent abilities off some of them and bake them into their fucking talent tree. Well, you put them on tiers with certain other talents that were really fucking important, which they've corrected for the most part now. But you still didn't account for, like, the traits, like all the bonus strength you got, like, not strength, but power you got from your fucking Legion artifact, which has all kind of been addressed now, kind of. But it hasn't really. Like, you still don't feel special in this expansion. Like, I can go around and do world quests all day long. I can kill Jaina. I can kill King Pastafarian. I still don't feel significant in this world. I feel like every other... See this guy right here? Girl, whatever it is? Could be any one of these people. Could be me. And it wouldn't change a thing. As a matter of fact, thanks to the new racial armors, you can get it to where you can look like the regular old guards in every old city. Like, as far as Paladin goes, Or as far as Blood Elf goes, yeah, you can look like every other guard in the city, for the most part. Which, I'm not complaining because the armor does look badass. But I would have liked dyed variants. Or variants to change the color or something, because why not? What was the problem with that? Frost Wolfworks got it. I think Dark Iron Dwarfs got it. Lightforged Draenei, I think, gets 60 different color sets. So, skipping past that, you just don't feel special in this world. Like, you log in, you come over to this, click it, finish your missions, make more missions, do random bullshit to keep this up, so you can keep doing missions, so you can continue to level your, as of right now, useless followers. But I imagine when you hit, I guess they're going to all become legendary or something, or there's a level tier beyond. If you look, they're all epic, and now they're leveling again. So I'm guessing every one of them is going to be a legendary. Great, fucking just great. Like I said, I like the deal in Draenor with the followers, where you could get them from all over the place. And some of the, like Crowman the Barbarian, the Conan storyline, that basically you get to, there was so many cool things. There was just a lot, and don't get me wrong, there's, all the secrets that have been added that the secrets team works on in their Discord. I haven't taken an interest in it so much because I'm already into this expansion. I think 6 deep on 120s now, who are all 360 to 370 or better. I'm already tired of this expansion, to the point that I've unsubbed. And it's not because it's a bad expansion. And it's not because of their cash up games. It's not because of the bullshit. It has nothing to do with Activision. I don't care about none of those people. I don't give a shit about any of the developers or what they do. Whatever. If you've got money and you want to buy shit out of a cash shop, why not? Do it. More power to you. I don't care about the cash shop. I don't. They can make everything available on the cash shop. Wouldn't care. Except for things that basically make it pay to win, essentially, like every other game. Well, every other MMO that's seemed to come out in the last 10 years. Like, if they want to drop transmogs and shit like that, mounts on the auction house, on the market, or whatever, the fucking cash shop all day long, go for it, Blizzard. Have a nice time. I'm not buying the shit, but go for it. Mage Towers were another great thing that I imagine we'll see a variant of in this expansion, I assume. I think so. But who's this fucking idiot? That must be a toy. Anyway, I don't know what he does. I guess it turns everybody in. Oh, I thought it turned everybody into a demon. Anyway, well, he had a bad day. This isn't really meant to be so much of a rant video as it is a video that tries to explain from my point of view what went wrong, why it went so downhill from Legion. And it's because certain elements of Legion were forced back on us after honestly, the daily system wouldn't have been so bad. We know there's going to be dailies. We know that. We know it. The problem wasn't that we knew there was going to be dailies. It's that you introduced them in a way that they're identical to Legion. They are identical to Legion's dailies. Like, this is just artifact power. It's all it is. We got to go grind out. Oh, they're even... Okay, artifact power. They're even calling it artifact powers. I thought it was Azerite power. I didn't even know it said artifact power. So, go grind out artifact power. This is every day. This is what you do every fucking day. Artifact power, garrison resources. Or Legion Hall resources. What are they calling them? War resources now. Shitty gear. Shitty gear that serves no fucking purpose other than to put in the trash compactor, which does you no good because you need the ones for Mythic to make anything. And then they added Titan Residuum and a welfare vendor for that, which, as I showed, you don't need. It gives you 385. You can get 385 by just killing fucking... Do the world bosses every week. Bonus roll if you want. Go into heroic. The raid. You'll get 385 and 395 from heroic all day long. It's just a matter of time. Buying 385 from a vendor just because of the specific stats you want, that's up to you. Like I said, that's one of those things. That's a choice you make. That's not something that they're forcing on you. So if you are like a min-maxer type person, which I used to be, but I'm not going through all this shit just to min-max for... Here's the problem. At this point, it'll take so long to get the Residuum to get 3 pieces of 385 on my character that by the time I could do it, the next raid's going to be out with better gear. Why bother? Why bother? For the traits? I'll just RNG it. I'll just fucking RNG it until I get the traits I want. I think 2 of them I already have. 375 Jungle Fury. 375 Jungle Fury. I could use Jungle Fury on my chest. That's all I need. And I'm done. So it's like I have no motivation to do anything. And it's like this across all my characters. And I don't have the greatest gear, like the best in slot traits. But I honestly, at this point, the RNG system in this game is reaching levels that make it as grindy as the Korean fucking MMOs. And as random as the Korean MMOs. And with the price it costs to reset it, which they are addressing that, I'll give them that, reminds me of fucking Korean MMOs. Like right now, this system for gear reminds me of the enigmatic system from, I think it was Terra? Where you just paid money to re-roll the stats on the gear you were wearing. I think it was Terra. Over and over again. Until you got the stats you want. Totally RNG. Except for with this gear, you get to pay to restat because they change the fucking traits every week. Which they have stopped tweaking so much, which is good. Like I said, Blizzard is addressing the problems. The problem is, with them addressing them, is it too late? For a lot of people, it seems to be the case. I have unsubbed. I'm thinking I'm going to take a break from MMOs altogether and play some single player Stuff, stream it, see how it goes. I'm going to do South Park series, Fractured Butthole, uh, Dragon Quest, I think it is Dragon Quest 11. I want to do that. Ori of the Blind Forest, I think it's called. I want to do that. Like, I've got 7 or 8 games lined up that I want to play that are offline, and then I might play some. I might play some Destiny 2. I like Destiny 2. The only thing it's a single player game. That's the only bad thing about it. I might even resubscribe to Star Wars. Star Wars: The Old Republic, I think. SWTOR. It's another great MMO that too little, too late. Just it's got a great story. Lots of world boss type things to do. Raids, lots of raids to do. Um, the storyline is absolutely great for every single class. But the problem is that the storyline is a single player storyline for the most part. You're encouraged to group up because everything you do in a dungeon or anything like that, any decision you make is a group choice challenge kind of thing. I really like Star Wars, The Old Republic. That is a underrated game that because of, and I guess it was they weren't expecting the response that they got. I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. But it was too little too late by the time they could handle the player base, the response that they got. It was too little too late. I don't even know how many servers they have now. I know it ain't many. But it's still a really fun game. Like if you like lightsabers and stuff like that, it's even better. Like the combat in the game is a little bit slower than World of Warcraft, but it's also more in depth than the 3 or 4 button rotation that every class has now. There's also the fact that in that game you feel special. You feel like the hero. Seems to be a theme here. Like, and back to World of Warcraft. You know, this isn't fucking Star Wars. Back to World of Warcraft. You just don't feel special. Like you're not a hero. You're just a grunt at this point. You're a grunt in the army, pushing your way through, hoping you get some, I guess, respect back to the point that you're actually like the hero of your own story. The problem is that right now we're playing in a system where we're the side character of someone else, of an NPC's heroic story. That's the fucking problem. Who the fuck wants to be that? Who wants to be the sidekick? I mean, who? Why not make us comic relief? Why not just have us be the comic fucking relief? But, in my opinion, that's where they went wrong. Too little, too late for most of the elements of this expansion so far. I hope they turn it around, I really do. Because nothing would make me happier than to buy about $5,000 worth of their stock and then make a, 100% profit on that. That'd be great. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be fantastic. Now, I think I've covered pretty much everything. As to why I think the game is in the state it is in now. Although, and I will address this, it also doesn't help when you've got employees screaming and jumping ship, you know, and then everybody and their brother on every platform imaginable is saying Blizzard's going down, jump ship, Blizzard's going down. Activision ruined Blizzard, blah, 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 Activision, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying it isn't possibly true. I don't know personally. I don't work there. Thank God. I will say this. Supposedly they are hiring and have been since well before all this, like developers and shit. So I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really so much care about that, the stock portion of it and how that looks, because stock is something that you can fuck up with mass psychology. It really is. Like, it's a social thing. Like, you can make a stock plummet. Literally, the speed at which Activision Blizzard plummeted was not a quarterly earnings thing. It was a social explosion of negativity. That's what crashed their fucking stock for Activision Blizzard. Was that this expansion is seen as a flop, and it's not even that bad. Black Ops is seen as greedy shit, and they kind of are. But it's something that could have easily been avoided. They could be charging for the red dot $1 for it if they had pumped out more maps or made a fucking creator and let players submit maps. I mean, the potential there. You could have captured the fucking Battle Royale market. It was in desperate need of a game. And you had it right there. Just like you did with Destiny. But what'd you do with Destiny? You capped it at 3 players for out and world gameplay, and you capped it at what, 7 for raids? Like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? Out in the world activities, you should have been able to make fire teams, or at least group up in fire teams with your friends on the same shard or whatever you want to call it. Like it, those games, and that's another video for another time. But needless to say, as far as their stock and stuff goes, I would not base whether or not to unsub or anything off the fucking stupid stock shit. It has nothing to do with the actual playability of the game. Like, the stock plummeting isn't going to affect them, you know, putting their ideas for 8.2 into the game. It just isn't going to change it. They've already got a lot of those, well, not a lot, but several of those changes, including the race. Supposedly the race unlocks are live on the PTR right now. I'm not going to log over and check because at this point right now, I don't particularly care. I plan to check it out again at 8.2. See how it is. Flying will be available then, and I will be a lot more interested to unlock flying on my main, so that I can then do whatever I want to do just by flying around and doing it. I think that the flying aspect is going to kill the war mode and incursion potential. I really do. Maybe they'll input a system that is like the capital cities. I don't even know if they're still like this, where when you fly over an active incursion, you can be knocked off, you can be not knocked off, but hit to where you go to the ground without dying. Like you get a parachute and you fall to the ground. I don't think you should be able to land, do an incursion, and then fly the fuck off. Or land and join a fucking World Quest Tracker party, do the incursion, fly the fuck off. I think you should have to, personally, I think you should have to get off your mount, and I think that the whole area, while the fucking incursion is up, if they can't do that, they can. I know they can. That whole phase, that whole area that's phased off for it being changed, should be no fly. If you watch this Blizzard, please make that a fucking thing. Please. Because just flying away is just total horseshit. Like, it's just... I've been mid-fight with so many fucking druids. I can't even tell you how many of them have night elfed their way out of combat and just flown the fuck away. So stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do it now, too. Night elf my way out, stealth, walk away. But I'm a night elf. That's the best I can tell you. Anyway, I ran it for just over an hour. Whatever. Good luck, players. Good luck, Blizzard. Hopefully, Blizzard gets their shit together in time. If you're a player that's burnt out, or you think this expansion sucks, or whatever, blah blah blah, my advice to you is, if you're quitting, already quit, whatever, try some single player games out, or play some of the free to play games. Black Desert Online is free to play. It is also paid to win, I think, for the most... Yeah, it is. But the combat system in it, if you're just looking for something to play around with, the combat system in Black Desert Online is so fun that it keeps you... Like, you can be level 1 and just rocking around, and it really is fun. If you're a person who doesn't care about spending money on a game, I would definitely think about Black Desert Online, because there's some really cool things that I think they have pets in that game, like battle pets they're like battle pets in this game, but I don't think they do battle. Like, you can get a pet that goes and automatically loots corpses. You can get pets that do various different things. I think give you stats, shit like that. Like, and you can have, I think, up to 5 of them out at a time. I don't know a lot about it because I haven't done it. But I have played Black Desert Online, and it is a lot of fun. Star Wars is another one that is a lot of fun to play, kind of, if you're free to play. If you're willing to pay their subscription fee, which is... That's it. That's the subscription fee. It's... I don't think it's pay to win. I know you can pay to get, like, experience tokens and shit, but beyond that, like, I don't think you can buy, like, I don't think they have an exchange rate for money to buy mods that to put into your actual armor. Like, you can get transmog sets, which they're transmog sets. Like, they make you look a certain way, but you wear it, and then you put mods onto the armor that make the armor better. So Star Wars is a good alternative. If you're just one of those people who are kind of like me, who don't want to play another MMO because you don't want to fucking start over and invest 14 years into a game to have it turn to shit and try and start that try and start getting that feeling from somewhere else. Or for my main example on this is WildStar. I feel so fucking bad for the people that got vested in that game, played it, and liked it, because there were one of the classes in that game I absolutely loved. I don't remember what it was, but it was like your Wolverine, little Wolverine dude. It was cool as hell. And there were a lot of times that I thought about giving WildStar a try. But every time I thought about giving WildStar a try, something else was added to that game that made it leery of being worth playing. Like it would go free to play, or it would offer the cash shop shit, or this or that. And then when I found out that it was just closing down, I honestly was pissed off. Like I really was. I would imagine that there's probably a private server out there somewhere. Don't know. I don't play private servers because whoever runs the private server cheats. Fact. Just the way it is. Always has been. Every private server I've ever been on WoW, certain groups of people cheat. That's just how it is. They cheat. So, I don't fuck with private servers. But, am I going to play WoW Classic? Absolutely not. It's going to be a fucking flop. Some streamers will try to make it a big deal for probably a couple months. And then once they conquer certain shit, they're just going to stop playing. Just like they do now. They do it right now. Big name streamers right now who join Project fucking 80, Project 70, Project 60, do the content, blah, blah, blah. It's the same fucking bullshit. They're going to do the same fucking bullshit with Classic. Classic fucking sucked. I mean, it was the pinnacle of its day. It was great. But it fucking sucks now. I logged into the stupid virtual ticket thing. Yeah, they got me with the virtual ticket. They did get me. But I logged into Classic and it was just... I don't know if you guys get this, but this is how I get about this game now. I log in, and when I hit the login screen, like when I hit the screen with all my characters, I get sick to my stomach, and I'm just like, just log out. That is exactly how I felt with Classic. But I tried to play through it a little bit, and just little things like having to have, you know, a bag that you dedicate, which, by the way, the bags are small then. Having a bag that you have to dedicate to 500,000 fucking symbols so that you can cast spells, or 9 billion bullets so you can play your hunter, or arrows, I think, even for warriors, and I think rogues could use range shit. Taking a giant leap backwards, I cannot see as being any point. I just don't see it. It's going to fucking suck. I think 90% of the people who are going to play Classic are people who never did play it. Who sit there and say, oh, you know, they're the first person to say, dude, vanilla was still the best. No, it wasn't. It fucking sucked. It was fucking, it was a challenge. But it's a challenge that I've already done. I already conquered it. I've got the items in the bank on my fucking Warlock, on my Paladin from the mount quests. I earned my mounts the way, like, grinding out the money was so very expensive. I can't remember if it took longer. I think it took longer to get the money for your epic mount than it did to actually level to 60. Like, ugh. I have no desire to do that again. Especially in a game where I already have all that. I already have done it. I've already got all that shit. I pray that Classic fails. Fuck Classic, as far as I'm concerned. I literally hope I hope that one moron, the guy that's running the company now, is more right than he's ever been. You think you do, but you don't. I hope to God that fucking rings true, because if that is what drags away the player base and they go to play Classic, It to me will just show that as the species, we have gone full retard. Full retard. Licking windows all the way. There's really nothing else I can fucking say. It's just, unless it ends up being a cult thing like how 80s clothes come in style and 70s clothes came back in style, like that kind of thing, it'll be a fad. Whatever. It won't last. It won't be successful. I had high hopes for Ashes of Creation, but with them releasing their Ashes of Creation themed Battle Royale, I've lost some of that hope, because that's exactly what EverQuest Next did. They dropped EverQuest Builder or whatever the hell it was next, or Landmark I think it was, and then when they realized that they bit off more than they could chew, I guess, it was all downhill from there. So, anyway, I think that's really the only thing I can address. If you think of any questions, or you watch this and you have anything you want to add or whatever, or think of something I missed, you can comment. Message me directly on Twitch. I'll probably upload this to YouTube. I don't know why. Just because. Why not? Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch. Sorry it was lengthy and ranty and at some points ran off on other tangents. It was unscripted. It is what it is. It's 2:40 in the morning. I'm sick. Fuck you. Peace.